Have you read it? Have you? If you have not heard about this, this is the new Harry Potter book. It's in play form, but still, we got the 8th book. If you have not read it, I'm gonna spoil it, so you should go read it and come back. It's super quick to read. It took about all of 5 seconds for all the old Harry Potter emotions to kick in. When Harry's talking to his kids and they're about to go through to platform 9 3/4, and he says exactly what Miss Weasley had said to him. Best to do it at a run if you're nervous. I just started tearing up hardcore. I loved all of the kids in the book. I'm pretty sure Harry's son, James, is exactly like the real James. He just seems high energy and mischievous, and I couldn't help but think this must be exactly what James Potter was like. We meet Rose, and she's exactly like Hermione. Now that we're in the future, we see just how famous our trio has gotten. Everybody's looking at them. Albus is pretty shy, so he doesn't even want to be around his family that long because everybody's watching. Rose is cute. She knows she's gonna follow in Hermione's footsteps, and she tells Albus we need to be careful who we sit next to because whoever we sit next to on the train is gonna become our best friends for the rest of our lives. Because that's what happened with Harry, Ron, and Hermione. We meet Draco's son, Scorpius, who supposedly could possibly, maybe, be the son of Voldemort, but Albus doesn't really care, and he and Scorpius hang out on the train on the way to Hogwarts. We find out that Scorpius's mother has passed, which means Draco's wife has died. Albus is struggling at Hogwarts. I like that we used to play because we've read the books, we've seen the movies, we know what's going on, so we can follow the fast pace of a play. To have read something like this in such great detail would have been repetitive. The way everything's just moving, and you could, I could really picture how they would do this. We see that Harry has too much work. It's something you never think about in the books, that thinking of them as adults and dealing with adult things. Amos Diggory shows up. He's heard that the Ministry has a time turner, and he wants Harry to go back and save Cedric. When I first read this, I just thought this was the weirdest way for the plot to go. I just wasn't expecting this. Hermione does have the time turner, but it's just, they can't. I felt like it would be obvious, even though he's grieving over his son, they can't go back and change time because any little thing you change could change a lot of things. It hit hard when Albus and Harry have that fight. Albus says, "I wish you weren't my dad." And Harry gets really mad and says he sometimes wishes that Albus wasn't his son. I was mad at Harry. And don't get me wrong, Albus is not my favorite character in this story. I still love Harry. We know him so well that it feels like you can get mad or you can laugh at him, but I was so mad that he said that because I felt so bad for Albus. Harry comments that his scar has been hurting him. It's been 22 years since that's happened. Oh, one of my favorite things was Scorpius has a crush on Rose. Were you Hermione Draco shippers happy about that? Albus had heard the conversation that Harry had with Amos Diggory, and he wants to set it right. But as soon as he said it, I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna go back and destroy something. Hermione is the Minister of Magic. She had said something, she's like, the Minister of Magic, nudge nudge, or something like that. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe she was high up in government and worked for the Minister of Magic, but no, she's the Minister of Magic. How cool! Hermione! Ugh. She was one of my favorite characters ever. Albus and Scorpius have run away. That's what their families think because they're going back in time to save Cedric. I really liked Draco a lot better in this book, and I felt bad when he tells Harry, your family is a curse on my family. You do see that Draco has learned how to really love. He misses his wife, he loves his son, and he's so worried about him. I liked when they impersonated Harry, Ron, and Hermione to get into the Ministry of Magic. It was so reminiscent. I was laughing so hard. I really like Scorpius's character. Scorpius is talking about how people think Voldemort's his dad, and he's really sad about it, and then he gets distracted, and Albus is just how to distract Scorpius from difficult emotional issues. Take him to a library. This is such a Hermione thing. Hermione's bookshelf. There's a book on there from Professor Trelawney. I loved little pop-ups of people we've known, Neville works at Hogwarts now. It's just little things like that. It makes me so happy. Harry's dream, when we hear at the very end of all of his dreams, it says, words said in an unmistakable voice, the voice of Voldemort. I feel like everybody who's read the books just kind of, but at the same time we're how? How did he come back? We've killed him 6 times. The crew is gonna go out into the Forbidden Forest and look for our babies, getting the squad back together. I love when they're going into McGonagall's office and they've gotten, you know, dirt all over the place because they're coming through the chimney. McGonagall is just, she's great. I dare say it's my fault for owning a chimney. Albus and Scorpius have teamed up with Delphi, Amos Diggory's daughter. She kisses Albus on the cheek and it's so funny. Scorpius is just like, hey, she didn't kiss me, did you notice? He looks at his friend. Are you okay, Albus? You look a little pale. And red. Pale and red at the same time. And there are some things in this play that you know are just like J.K. Rowling's writing. Like you can feel it. You can feel the Harry Potter. And there's a giant whoosh of light, a smash of noise, and time stops. And then it turns over, thinks a bit, and begins spooling backwards. Slow at first, and then it speeds up. Little things like that just made my heart so happy. Like you can... It feels like her writing, even though it's a completely different format. It feels like one of her books. Albus and Scorpius have gone back in time and they're at the Triwizard Tournament. I love every time that we talk about the different schools and they're giving a cheer. The Hogwarts give a loud cheer. Durmstrang gives a loud cheer. Beauxbaton, there's a slightly limp cheer. Slightly less enthusiastic from the French there. On page 109 when they're talking about the time turner ticking, in my brain, all I'm listening to is the Harry Potter and the mysterious ticking noise. Have you seen that video? It's like with the puppets. Why is this puppet? I was so mad at Harry when he was being mean to his son. Like page 116, Harry didn't want Albus to hang out with Scorpius. He was like forcing him to be into Gryffindor. And then we realized it's because the past has changed. Harry is not the same person that he was. Cedric lived, married Hermione. Ron is married to Padma. Albus is put in Gryffindor. Ron is all clean cut. It's weird. When Albus has to tell Scorpius that they'd be better off separate, like they shouldn't be friends, it hurt because their friendship is really strong. They kind of bond over their awkwardness. When Harry was basically threatening McGonagall, I know it's because he's not the same person that he was, but he was saying, like, you need to watch out for my son, and if you don't, the ministry's coming for you. I was so mad. Like, who are you and what have you done with Harry Potter? I really like the focus on friendship and what it actually means in this book. When Delphi, no matter how awful she is, says, you know, like, that's the thing about friendships. You don't really know what he needs. You just know that he needs it. I really liked how that was such a focus. And not that it isn't in the other books, but it was just so outspokenly important. And again, we see like how important friendship is. Because time has changed, Ron, Harry, and Hermione are not the same in their friendship. Like, they know each other, but it's different. Ron has lost himself. He's completely different from who he was. Hermione's not the same strong person that she would have been. And Harry has become harsh. I was sad when Albus and Scorpius were talking, and Scorpius is like, don't you get it? Like, we're losers. And I was like, no. Scorpius and Albus have realized that they've messed up, so they go back in time again. Harry was trying to apologize to Albus, but he just missed him. We get back from that time traveling experiment. Harry is dead. They've somehow altered it that Harry died. Umbridge is headmaster. There's Voldemort Day. There's no Harry, so there's no Albus. Malfoy did great at Hogwarts, and now Scorpius is head boy. He's like super popular. It's this weird alternate world, and it is scary. It's really creepy. Whenever they like leave, they say like for Voldemort and Valor. That is so creepy. Hogwarts is torturing wizards that aren't purebloods. It was so sad to like see what happened. I did think it was funny when the name of Harry Potter is used as a curse. People like stub their toe. Oh, Potter! Snape is alive. Cedric is a Death Eater. What is going on? The solution seemed easy to me. Go back in time and do absolutely nothing. I felt like that would have fixed everything. And there's this whole thing with Cedric killed Neville. So Neville never killed Nagini in the final battle of Hogwarts, and that's why Voldemort lived. Again, on the importance of Neville. Have you read all those theories about Neville could have been the chosen one? Who doesn't love Neville? Scorpius finds Snape and explains. Snape is gonna help him. I knew he was just always gonna be loyal to Dumbledore. They go into that room in the tree that we've seen in Prisoner of Azkaban. Hermione and Ron are there. They're not married, but they're both rebels. They're like the most wanted people in the wizarding world. They're what's left of Dumbledore's army. I love Ron's reaction because it's everyone else's reaction. So you're telling me the whole of history rests on Neville Longbottom. I was dying with the exchange between Snape and Scorpius. I'm dead, presumably. You were a little too surprised to see me. How? Bravely. Who? Voldemort? How very irritating. So we go back in time and we fix what was done in the first travel back there. In this process of reversing everything, we watch Hermione, Ron, and Snape all get killed. It hurts your heart. Everything turns out to be okay again, so we think. They talk to Delphi, and Delphi says, you know, Cedric would have understood. And I still, like, I didn't have that much suspicion about her. 2 pages later, JK, she's evil. This is the black cloud that Bane told Harry about, this awful presence that was going to be around Albus. It wasn't Scorpius at all. Delphi destroys the time turner so the boys are stuck in time. Delphi is going to try to kill baby Harry. The talk with Dumbledore was rough. It wasn't how I would have thought it would have gone. Harry's had time to think about this and to reflect on his entire life, and he holds some anger with Dumbledore. That was really a rough scene to read. Even though they do end up saying, you know, like, I love you, and it was so sad, but there's like those classic Dumbledore lines. Be honest to those you love, show your pain. To suffer is as human as to breathe. Dumbledore always has those poetic lines. I realized Hermione is a genius. She kept around the time turner in case somebody else had a time turner and they had to go back in time. And there's another little lesson about like love blinding people. Harry and Malfoy have figured this one out now. Like they love their son so much, but it has blinded them to certain things. It's nerve-wracking for Harry because they can't find their kids. They have no way to reach them and they have to basically trust them to fix things. I like till Scorpius and Albus figure out how to leave Harry a message on the blanket and how it would work only at a certain time so that Harry would know where to find them. Harry has to be disguised as Voldemort to draw Delphi because Delphi wants to talk to her dad. We find out Delphi is Bellatrix's daughter. Oh! Harry says the reason he was so strong was because he was with other people. He's never fought alone. And he realizes that love can make you so much stronger. Harry acknowledges that his strength comes from the people he loves. Harry watches as his parents get killed. That was rough to watch. We see Hagrid find Harry, which was super cute. Scorpius is so funny. He tries to talk to Rose and it goes so badly. I've planted the acorn that will grow into our marriage. A foundation for a palace of love. Harry and Albus talk and they have this really important conversation where Harry tells Albus that Albus has a good heart, and it's really sweet. And Albus is right, like there's a lot of burden in just his name. Two such great men, and Harry doesn't want his name to be a burden. They go to visit Cedric's grave. I think it was important to see how much this had an effect on him. Cedric just died, and we don't talk about him that much. Like we see Harry has guilt over it, but like this shows like how much guilt he carries over the people who died for the boy who lived. Albus and Harry are happy again, and it ends. It ended again. You know, you finish the 7th book, and you think you can survive the ending, and then it ends again. 5 out of 5 stars. How could you not give it 5 out of 5 stars? It's the new Harry Potter book. My name's Caitlin. Thanks for watching. Bye!